Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney and I make videos on life, faith, and music. I figured today I would switch it up, do something a little different and do a Q&A. I feel like I've been talking a lot, sharing a lot of like my deep thoughts and revelations, and it's like, who even is talking? So I hope that this is fun and a nice little break from the deep. We can come up for air and just get to know each other. I collected some questions from you guys on Instagram, from YouTube, and some of them are just random questions I found online just to really just make sure it was like fun and really engaging. And so I hope that this is entertaining and fun to watch. I'm going to try to get through as many questions as I can in a good amount of time, and we're just going to go for it. What's your favorite sport? Okay, I played basketball, tennis, volleyball, soccer, in middle school, high school, but I would say my best sport was probably basketball. I feel like statistically I was better at basketball, went farther with it. But I loved volleyball. That was also very fun. How did you know and when did you know that you were called to do what you were called to do for the Lord? I feel like the best way to put it is that our number one call is to serve and love the Lord. And that's that. For me, I don't want to ever box myself in. I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing. I don't like feeling boxed in. And so I would say the moment that I gave my life to the Lord was the moment that I knew I was called. For what? I didn't know at the time. Like, I would say I really took my faith seriously when I went to college, is when a lot of things changed in my life. And at that moment was when I started to lean more into worship. That was never like my intention to like be a worship leader or be a musician or whatever. I didn't put out music. Like my plan was business. I was a business girl. And yeah, that was never my intention, but God rerouted that. And since then he has opened so many doors in terms of music and worship leading that I feel like that is a huge part of my life. It's been prophesied over me. And so that's how I would know. I would say from prophecy, from leaning into your natural giftings, whatever you're naturally good at and can serve the Lord in doing, can be an easy way to see what you're called to do, because he's given us all unique gifts and talents, and our job is to multiply them and not bury them. You can read the parable of the talents and get some inspiration from that, but whatever you're gifted in, whatever God's given you, there might be a call in terms of how to serve the Lord within that. And that can be in or outside of the church, by the way. So that's kind of how I knew. I would say prophecy, natural giftings, and just leaning into the opportunities that he gives me within, for me, music. Is your favorite store? Okay, I pretty much have like all of Target's catalogs at all times of the year memorized, so I can easily tell when someone gets something from Target. I'm kind of crazy, but Target and H&M are probably my two stores that I will go to if I need an outfit. If I need to find something, I will go there. And occasionally I might go look other places, but those are my top two. Your favorite TV shows? Okay, my favorite TV shows. I'll give the Christian answer and say The Chosen. This Is Us is my all-time favorite show. I'm actually gonna just go with that. This Is Us. That show broke me when it ended. Like, I've cried over some really hard things in life. I was weeping, weeping when This Is Us ended. Like, hosted a watch party at my apartment. We had like a really nice theater, so I hosted a watch party and I broke. So I would say that was definitely my all-time favorite show, and I can't watch it again. It was just too much, so I can't. But that's my favorite show. Your idea of a dream date. A dream date. Honestly, at this point in life, I don't really care. Like, maybe like a picnic sounds cute. I don't think I ever had a picnic date, so that sounds cute. Oh, little charcuterie board, picnic, looking at the water, you know, that sounds cute. How tall are you? I'm a tall girly. I'm 5'8", so I think it's always so funny. Like, I remember like someone met me and they were like, whoa, you're like a lot taller than I thought you were. Yes, I'm a tall girl. I'm 5'8". I feel like that's not tall. Like 5'8" doesn't feel tall, but compared to like all my other friends, I'm really tall. What year were you born? I was born in the late 1900s. I was born in 1999. I barely made it, but I'm a 90s kid. So don't mess with me. I'm a 90s kid. Anyways, single or taken? I'm single. I am so single right now. The Lord made me single and I'm single. So yeah, things can either make you better or bitter, and I'm choosing to be better. So yeah, you gotta laugh through the pain. We'll move on. You currently live? I live in Dallas, Texas. I am a Texan. And I will say that anytime anyone asks me. I think I've transitioned and I identify as a Texan. So, your favorite sports team? I do not do sports team. I don't know. Don't watch sports like that. So no, I have no idea. I'm just gonna say the Buckeyes, go Bucks. You know, I support them. I'm a fake fan. I went to Ohio State, by the way. I went to the Ohio State University. So, but yeah, we'll talk about that in a future question. Favorite thing to do when you have free time? When I have free time, I like to go to the studio and make music. And when I can't go to the studio and make music, I like to be at home and make music. And when I can't do anything that has to do with music, I love movies and watching movies. So that's what I like to do with my free time. And when I can't do any of that, I love spending time with friends. I love spending time with my friends watching movies. Maybe that's a good answer. What is your favorite drink? Shirley Temple. I hesitated and laughed because anyone who knows me knows that I love Shirley Temples. I just think it's the best invention when it comes to a drink. So good. What books have changed your life? Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I've got 4 books I'd love to share with you. The first one is the Bible. This is one of a few of my Bibles, but I'm just holding this up because I'm a Christian and I have to say it's my favorite book. So, the Bible. Garden City. I'm just kidding. This is Garden City by John Mark Comer. He is a pastor, writer, podcaster, theologian, man of God. Secrets of the Secret Place by Bob Sorge. I don't know if I've said his name correctly, but this book I read this in a very special time back when I was in Ohio living alone, and I just would have dinner and I would just eat this book with my dinner. And it is just beautiful. It's just a beautiful book about the secret place, abiding in the secret place, what it does for you, how to exist, how to operate, how to facilitate your secret place time. And yeah, just a really good book. So recommend that. The Bait of Satan by John Bevere. Him and his wife are so anointed. This was a great book that I read back in 2020. Yeah, 2020, I think. It's crazy. That's been so long ago. I don't read as much as I should, but I read a little bit. So there you go. What is your favorite movie? My favorite movie is A Walk to Remember. That movie brought me to tears. It was so good. I love it so much. Do we do missionary dating? No, don't do missionary dating. However, with anything, God can work a miracle, and I just love it. I just love the miracle movies. Those are the good ones, the good stories. I remember being at a sleepover when I first saw it, and I was bawling my eyes out, and everyone was so concerned because nobody was feeling the same way I was feeling. I'm a very emotional person. It's a problem sometimes, but it's just the way that I am. So yeah. How many countries have you traveled to? Let's see. I've been to Haiti. I've been to Germany. I've been to Italy. I've been to France. I've been to Germany. I've been to Brazil and Canada in travel. I love travel. I want to travel more. That's a prayer of mine. But yes, those are the places that I've been to. What was your dream job as a kid? Okay, I wanted to be a triple threat actor, which means singing, dancing, and acting. And I was in like acting classes, modeling classes. I did a lot of that type of stuff when I was a little kid. Music, piano lessons, all of that. That was my dream when I was like really little. And then I wanted to, like, my only dream was to have a Chick-fil-A in college and like be a business girly. And then I wanted to be a worship leader. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life still. I'm just kind of doing whatever is in front of me to do. But yeah, when I was a kid, I wanted to be like High School Musical, like singing, dancing, acting, the works. Favorite color. My favorite color is lavender. I love lavender. It's a really good color. What are your life goals? I am 24 right now, and today my life goals consist of leading worship at my local church, having a family, and being creative. Those are my life goals, and to leave a legacy of love and joy. And yeah, I think that's my life goal. I don't know. I want a simple life. I think I really see that for myself in the long run. But I like doing a lot. But I also, in the long run, I see myself really enjoying a simple life. That's really what I want. That's my heart's desire. Where are you from and how did you get to Dallas? I am from a town called Newport News, Virginia. It's not a big city, not a small town, so I guess mid-size is the appropriate title. But I'm from a town called Newport News, Virginia, and I went to the Ohio State for college. So I moved to Columbus in 2017, did 4 years of college, graduated. So after I graduated in 2021, I stayed in Columbus for another year. And during that time, I actually was touring with Maverick City at the time. And so I did maybe like 18 to 20, 21 shows in their choir all over the country. It was a crazy, really crazy journey. Grew in so many ways, was exposed to so many things, was able to learn about so many different aspects of the music industry and travel, and understanding maybe like what I want this to maybe look like for me, what I see myself doing any of this. I learned so much in that time. And anywho, one day we came to Dallas for a show. It was my first time ever here. And when I got here, it was so clear to me that I was supposed to move here. I felt like the Lord spoke so clearly, which hasn't happened very often in my life. And was like, this is home. And I ended up going to a church that next day. Show was on Saturday, went to church Sunday, and two random people prophesied that I was supposed to move there. And so I was like, okay. So that's kind of how I got here, and God has just blown my mind with everything that has occurred since moving in 2022, and now it's 2024. So this is how I got to Dallas. Favorite food, okay. It's a really hard split between hibachi and seafood boil. I will never say no to either of those. You will never hear a no from me when it comes to those two things. How did or do you prepare yourself for your future spouse? Girl, I don't even know. I have no idea. I'm not married, never have been. And so I do not feel qualified to answer that question. All I can say is from the marriages that I've seen, every story is so hugely different. And I guess it also depends on like when, from what I know, it probably depends on like when you get married. Like I have friends who got married super young. Was there a whole lot of time to prepare for like marriage? Maybe not, as opposed to friends I know that have gotten married older and had like a lot of time to prepare like finances and do this and do that and get their X, Y, and Z in order. I think the best thing to do is just to focus on what God has given you today. That's what I'm trying to do. And yeah, just focus on what God's given you. And if marriage is something that is gonna happen soon, God is gonna give you everything you need to prepare for it based on the marriage that He has for you, which is unique from every other one. So that's all I have to say. I have no idea though. What is your songwriting process? Do you schedule time or write when you feel inspired? I am kind of on the side of writing when I feel inspired. There are seasons and stretches of time where I just have no thoughts when it comes to songs. And then there's times where God just it just comes. It's just so easy and natural and flows out. Sometimes like all in one sitting, or like a month or whatever, when a song just comes or songs just come. It's a very important thing if you are trying to practice, you know, just getting in the rhythm of like creating. Whenever I used to not do this, and I think doing this really opened myself up to maybe being more ready to hear when God gives me things. But I used to never, like, I'd think of melodies all the time and I wouldn't do anything with them. I just forget them. What I started doing is voice recording every single melody I have. I'd be voice recording in church, at work, on the drive to work, waking up in the middle of the night. Whenever you get a melody, just get in the habit of recording it, even if it's just a small part, a melody, maybe 1 or 2 lines. All of those obviously aren't gonna make it to be fully produced, done songs, but getting in that rhythm allowed me to, I think, just be able to be ready when there's like a song that just comes. But that's really how all the music that I have has been birthed. I host songwriting camps, and so when we get together with others, even in that, we take time to sit and listen to hear what God has to say or what he's speaking. And usually, it's crazy, usually we're all kind of in the same place, and then we create a song from all the things that God's given us. So that's like a lot easier when you're in a group setting to kind of sit down and write a song in one sitting. But for me personally, I really struggle if I'm like, I want to write a song about this, because I'm usually inspired by what's happening in my life. And so if there's just nothing really like pointing out, I can't really create from that. So yeah, I would love to be one person that could just sit down and write a song, but I'm just leaning on the Lord. Whatever I have is really birthed from the Spirit, and that's all I can, the Spirit and my experiences. And yeah, so inspired. What is your go-to hairstyle? Okay. You guys have only seen me with these braids, but this is not the style that I have 90% of the time. 90% of the time I just wear my own hair, and it's usually like, I think my go-to is like a short, not bob, but just a short blunt cut that I can kind of style and do different things with. So you guys will see that soon. You guys will see what I really look like 90% of the year. But you caught me at the summertime, so that's why I got my braids, so we can go to the pool and have fun. But yeah, you guys will see soon. My typical look is just a short blunt cut. I just think short suits my face because it's super round. So yeah, if you could change one bad habit of yours, what would it be? Let me guess. Relaxing. That's what I would want to do. I overthink a lot of things, and it is very hard to not do that. So yeah, that's like one of the worst things to have. But yeah, I'm like, that's something I have to constantly, and really what that is anxiety. And so I think the bad habit would be overthinking, but the root of that is anxiety. And that's something that I've dealt with for a long time. And I just constantly have to surrender that to the Lord and not claim it, not just get used to it, but always kind of fight against it, take the thoughts captive, submit them to the Lord. But yeah, I think I would say I am one of the overachiever types of people. And I have to constantly just surrender my lack of not being able to meet either my own standard or other people's standards of me, and just submit it to the Lord. And just, yeah, so that's one habit that I am constantly trying to break. And daydreaming. I daydream a lot. I am very imaginative. And so sometimes that gets me in trouble because I can imagine a whole world of possibilities that have not been given or promised to me. So I had to surrender that to the Lord as well, and really ground myself in the present moment and understand that there's no need to be anxious for tomorrow, because tomorrow has enough worries of its own, and be present with today. So yeah. Okay, this is gonna be my last question, and it is, what is an interesting fact about you? I will say an interesting fact is that I'll give you two and then I'll go. One is that I dream every night. I dream just about every night, and I remember my dreams. It's like I love going to sleep because it's like a fun adventure, and I'm very imaginative. So of course my dream life is like extra crazy because I be daydreaming just as crazy. So yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I feel like that's pretty rare. Most of my friends don't dream or don't remember, or it's just pitch black until they wake up in the morning. So I think that's interesting. And then the second, I think, is my malleability to the environment that I'm in. It can be a blessing, and I've also had periods in my life where it has been like not from a healthy place, but I think the Lord has healed a lot of that, and now it's been redeemed to be like, it's been spoken over me multiple times throughout my life that like I have this bridging effect where I can kind of go wherever and find a way to bridge whatever gap is there, or just create a bridge. And so I think that's an interesting fact about me. My friends like to say I can have a conversation with a brick wall. So I am like super friendly and really just love people, and can really function in any sort of setting. So I think that's a gift that God's given me. With that, I will say goodbye. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, you know, this kind of gave you just a glimpse into who I am, and we can kind of proceed with the future videos kind of having some sort of like, oh, I know who's talking and what they're about. And a little bit of fun facts about them. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week. Bye.